Welcome to skills class number 2. Let's have a quick prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, please help us to learn more about fundraising so that we may be able to do your work and possibly make orphanages, businesses, or schools so that your children and people can prosper. We ask this in your name, Jesus Christ. Amen. All right. So I'm going to share my screen. Da-da-da. All right. It's coming up. Okay. I'm sure you could see my screen now, right? Okay. So Office Skills class number 2 is all about fundraising, and there's 2 different fundraising ideas, and that the first one is that we need setup costs. So we do a big campaign and amass a large sum of money for setup costs. And then the other idea is ongoing fundraising, ongoing donations, which is probably a little harder. But we do have a special guest who couldn't be here today, but has left us with some words of wisdom about that, which we will end off with. And his name is Muchibi Jovan Musasizi from Uganda. And very, very good stuff. Very good stuff. So we're going to form a team. And on your team, you're going to need, I think this got cut off. Well, anyway, you're going to need a graphic artist. You're going to need a writer. You're going to need a web builder and friendly socializers. Friendly socializers are very important. So if they don't have any of these skills, that's okay. As long as they're friendly and they can socialize and they can learn a little bit about Facebook on here. Maybe they already know a little bit about Facebook. And it's important to have a good phone so you can, if you want to, you could put through an international call on Facebook Messenger or international call on WhatsApp. That's really good too, to talk with donors and, let them meet you and find out who you are and tell them a little bit about your cause. So, okay, so making a budget is really helpful because donors can choose what they want to save money for. So it's good to have things that are expensive with things that are not expensive. So if they only have $20, they could do something for you and feel like they did something. And then the larger ones, like a water collection system, might be $400 or more, but they could save for that if they want to. If they don't want to, they could go with a first aid kit, 100 pencils, a year's supply of chalk, so welcome back, Brother Hope. I'm sorry that your internet probably gave out on you, but I'm glad you're back. And the first thing I did when I was approached to help a school in Haiti was I made a logo. And the reason for that is logos make you appear official and legitimate. And this is a legitimate school. They have a certificate for nonprofit and all that. But the logo gives donors a feel that this school has their ducks in a row, so to speak. They have everything they need because people have helped them before. So the logo shows that they do have a graphic artist helping them. And of course, it's very catchy and memorable. So that's important too. And from the logo, you can make a letterhead. If you're a graphic artist or you have a graphic artist, they can make a letterhead. And this is great to put on the top of any plea letter or any other letter. You can use this general purpose. But yeah, the logo is very official looking and it has all the information, which is great. And you can make the logo for the web, so it would be low kilobytes. And you can make it for printing either way. It's probably not going to be a lot because it's going to be a small image. So, yeah. And then it's great to have a website because, especially if you're doing international donations, a website imparts a lot of information to the donor, answers a lot of questions, and saves you a lot of time answering questions. So I would suggest the website should include the logo, the name. You need a catchy, brief name for the school or orphanage or business. Something memorable, something short, because the longer it is, the harder it is to remember. And then you may want to have a page for the history of your school or your vision for your school. A page about the founder, his testimony, why he or she is doing this, current needs of the school or orphanage or business, a contact us page. You could just put an email address and phone number, or they have like forms that initiate an email to you when someone fills it out. And it's great to have a picture gallery. They want to know who they're giving to. So a nice picture of the building, picture of the kids, picture of the staff, videos, any videos you take of kids singing, clapping, doing memory verses, whatever, are really wonderful. They feel like they get to know the kids. Individual orphan stories is not required, but sometimes it's nice. And if a kid has a very touching story, by all means, put it in because, you get donations for that. A staff page, meet our teachers. A blog would be like where they could put a comment if they want to. Um, I had trouble doing that on the last website, but there is like a form page you could do. Yeah. And then life at Christian's Pride School. They want to know things like, what does your day look like? And it turns out Christian's Pride School starts the day with prayer. Um, they do songs, they have social studies, math, reading, then they break for recess, and they have lunch. And what is it really like to live there? What kind of food do they serve? Things like that. People are just interested to know. That's all. And then here's the website for that. I just created it. And this is really, a great thing to have a website. And I get free hosting because with my bluehost.com, you pay for the first website, kind of pay a little bit much, but then after that, you get unlimited hosting of unlimited websites. So it's really cool. If anyone needs to have a website hosted, I could certainly help out with that. And Bluehost uses WordPress. WordPress is the way, that's the software, that's how you build the website. It's pretty good. You're going to need on your website at least two ways to collect money. PayPal is awesome because it works in most countries, except for like Puerto Rico and certain small countries. It works in most African countries. However, if you're fundraising in Africa, the money is not going to be worth as much because of the money exchange as if you get the money from America. Like $1 in Uganda is not worth the same as $1 in the United States. So I recommend focusing on like USA, Europe, and countries where the money exchange is very, very good. So if you get $1 from USA, you may be able to buy a lot more than if you get $1 in Haiti or Africa. And so it's good to focus your efforts on USA if you can, or Europe. There's many countries, many of them. PayPal is great. Venmo is another one used in the United States. Zelle is used among certain banks in the United States, and that has no fee. I don't think PayPal or Venmo have a fee either. I don't think so. Stripe Portal does have fees. That is like if they wanted to put in a credit card to your website and the money would be linked straight into your account. There's fees for that and they're monthly fees. So I don't recommend that. Okay. And then a GoFundMe is fantastic because GoFundMe is trusted by pretty much everyone in the USA. GoFundMe.com allows you to put up a plea with pictures, videos, whatever you want. And it's a fundraising platform. They give you a link to your GoFundMe, and the link is usually a string of letters and numbers which could not be remembered, but you can go to tinyurl.com and you could convert it. You could convert that link with the string of numbers and letters into something that you choose, something memorable. So you'll see that on the end of the Powell Orphanage video I'm going to show you later. You'll see a little bit how that works. And GoFundMe, your host that sets up the GoFundMe has to be in one of these countries. Has to be in one of these countries. Like you can't do a GoFundMe from Africa or Haiti or India. They're not like in those countries, and those countries are not eligible. So you need a friend in one of these countries to help you. And it's really not hard to set this up. But what happens is the money will go into that friend's bank account after so many days. I think it goes in denominations of $30. And then once they get the money, they have to send it to you. They could send it by Zoom, World Remit, Sendwave, whatever. But there will be fees when you do the Zoom or the Western Union or whatever. There will be fees on that part. But the GoFundMe, I believe they don't take much of a fee at all. If the person moves the slider all the way to the left, there's a slider when the person gives. And if they want some of the money to go to GoFundMe, they can slide the slider and say like $5, $6, whatever. But if they slide it all the way to zero, then I don't think GoFundMe takes much at all if they take anything. All right. And here's my plea letter. Plea letter is very important. You want it to be in all sort of formats with clickable links, like a text format, an email format, paper, placard. Okay, so placard is like a sign that you show to people in person. Now in text and email, this takes time to set up if you have a picture. This particular one has 3 pictures. It has the logo letterhead, it has the picture of the school, and it has the signature. So this is actually challenging to set up as an email, but the way I did it, you kind of need like the graphic artist to set it up for you. The way that I did it was I had to I use Photoshop. I had to go to the image itself, open it up, circle it, copy it, and then paste it into the email. And that's the only way I could figure out how to do it into an email. And definitely send it to yourself. I had one email where the signature moved to the top on me, and I have no idea why. But just don't send it to anybody until you send it to yourself and see that it came out good. So this plea letter it has like some bold writing so they could scan it quickly. School of 78 children, classroom furniture supplies, meals, teachers pay, GoFundMe, right to WhatsApp. If they just get that, which is all you may get them to see, that's enough for them to understand that you're asking for money for help for this school. You know, it's good to write more, of course. And here are my placards. These are photo paper printed and pasted on something called foam board. I don't know if you guys are familiar with foam board, but it's like a flat piece of foam that has paper glued to both sides. And so it's stiff. It's a board and it's very, very light because it's foam. And so this is what I would show people. I would say, look, this is how they eat. This is their uniforms when they're playing in the recess. This is the classroom. That's how they get light because there are holes in the walls. This is how they learn. This is their books. And then it has all the information about the GoFundMe and all that. But you should also have like a slip of paper with the GoFundMe and the PayPal ID on it, just so that they can hold on to that and donate later, because they're not going to remember. They're probably not going to remember the PayPal ID or the GoFundMe. Even if you do tiny URL, it's good to have a reminder when you're dealing with money, you want to get it right. So make a paper slip. You could fit probably 8 on a page and cut them and then just give them to people that you talk to. Yep. Here is my promotional video for Powwow Orphanage. You can also do a verbal audio appeal on like an iPhone has voice memos. That's fantastic. But whatever you do, keep it short, about 2 minutes. So I'm going to just stop share for just a moment because I want to show you the video. I think you'll really enjoy it. It's 2 minutes and you need like video making software to do it. There are free versions of video software.
This orphanage in Africa needs our help.
Hello friends, I'm Uchiwi Jovan Musasizi from Uganda, East Africa. I'm running an orphanage in northern Uganda. How did the orphanage begin? Yes, me with my friend, we discovered that there was a tribal war in northern Uganda whereby different tribes were fighting over land and different resources, which left many children orphans.
88 children.
So right now, we are having 88 children who are total orphans. We had no classrooms, but we began teaching children under tree shades.
That means under the shade of trees. They needed a school building.
We are building the school from ground to up. This is the first school in the community.
Finally, it was done.
and other community children are welcomed for the free services.
Yay, school is open, but we need teachers.
More than 10 teachers at the school. Yes, we do have a challenge of paying them. That's why we are appealing to you that you should help us in paying these teachers.
Desks are also needed. Each desk seats 4 children.
Assist us in buying bunk beds, desks, and other scholastic materials. Please join us to make a change in this community.
This web address links to GoFundMe. Please remember it. tinyurl.com/school for kids. Thank you. This orphanage in Africa.
Okay, so I hope you liked that video. I did that a couple years ago, and we were able to raise about between $700 and $800 just for that video. And my assistant principal allowed me to play the video on a all school town hall meeting. So the whole school saw it, and teachers that I didn't even know donated to the cause. And I got some donations from friends and family, but I ended up with about $700-800. So let's just finish up our PowerPoint. We're almost done. Okay, so this got 72 views on YouTube. YouTube is free. YouTube is free. You can make up an account, just make up a password, and you'll be having your video on the internet for anyone to see. And you can actually, on YouTube, they let you share. So you copy the link and you could send it to whoever you want. Okay? But just the main thing is keep it to 2 minutes. Don't go over because they will lose interest. Okay, you want to form a team to network the appeal. Now, networking means you're going to go by word of mouth. A friend will tell a friend who tells their friend, who tells their friend, who tells their friend, hopefully. Finding new donors on Facebook. You can also try friending your donors' friends. I'm going to tell you more about that. Okay, so this is one of my friends, and not that he's a donor, he's just a friend, but if he was a donor, let's just use him as an example. If he was a donor to your cause, right? He has 145 friends. 4 of them are mutual. That means friends of mine and his at the same time. Okay, so you click 145 friends. Click right here. And it's going to come up with this page of 145 people. Then you go to the right and you click add friend. I think you can put a message on it too. Anyway, you click add friend, add friend, add friend. You could do it with all 145 if you want to. A few of them will accept. They're going to see that the donor is a mutual friend, and that's going to help them to trust you a little bit to say, oh, you must be cool. You're not a scammer. You're a friend of a friend. So they may accept your friendship. And then once you are friends, you can always use Facebook Messenger, which is an app you could put on your phone, linked to Facebook, and it's a texting platform. You can do calls, FaceTime calls, and texting through Facebook Messenger. It's fantastic. You can also send up to 30 pictures at a time if you needed to. And it's really wonderful. And you can start a relationship with your donor's friends. You also use Facebook for regular posts of what you're accomplishing. So this guy, a Power Orphanage, dug up a lot of yams. And these are really big yams. This is an amazing picture. You want to show this on Facebook and say, we had our harvest today. We're going to be able to feed our orphans. Thank you for supporting our project. You know, this is an example of a self-supporting project. So Muchibi asked for things like farming equipment, land, a truck to bring the harvest to market. That's what he was asking for, and he got all those things. And now he's self-supporting for the most part as far as food for his orphanage school. Fantastic. Here's Lubian Fils in Haiti. He has a school there. And these are some of his accomplishments. He's got a beautiful school building. Although it doesn't have electricity, you can see he lets in the light with these special bricks that have windows in them. And he's got all his 78 students in uniform. I think that's a big accomplishment. So he could put this on Facebook and say, we were able to get uniforms thanks to your donations. Now, we're going to end off with some quotes from Muchibi Jovan Musasisi from Uganda. He has you saw his video, that was him. I asked him to be a guest speaker, but he couldn't be here today as a board meeting. So he left me with some really good words of wisdom for ongoing donations. He says, being honest to the donor is the best way to get more donors. Once you do things right, you gain the donor's trust, and he will tell his friends about you, even his church. So sending a friend request is good, but when you do things right, you can gain more friends from the donors themselves. You also can daily update on what's going on with the project that the donor donated to and update about your current needs. So Jovan, Muchibi Jovan Musasisi is very, very friendly, and he keeps almost daily contact with his donors. How are you doing? How is your day? Conversation. And then he says, I'm doing great. My kids ran out of beans, but I'm hoping I could get some more beans. And he doesn't say, could you give me money for beans? He says, well, we ran out, or well, we're in need of. And if the donor is interested in paying for beans, then they will send money. If they're not, then they won't. But sort of an indirect way of asking is to update about your current needs. And also, like, if that donor gave money for a well, send them pictures of the well being dug and the well being finalized, the stones going in, the plastic going over, and all those things that happen when you dig a well. And the donor will know that that's where their money went. And that's how he establishes trust. Donors may not last forever, and that's that you have to accept. They don't want to be taxed for many years, but by the time they stop, they may have pushed you very far and gotten you other donors. Currently, we have few donors, like 2, but the many we had have helped us at least to start up a self-supporting project. We shouldn't rely always on donors. You should have that in mind to set up self-supporting projects, whether it's to farm for food, to sew clothes, or let's say to make thingamajigs and sell them for income. However you want to do it, you need a self-supporting project. So when making plans for the future, remember the time will come when the donor has got some financial problems, as life is. So you are your best resource, but let people help you be the most that you can be. All right. I hope you found that very interesting. Does anyone have any questions? You can unmute and ask anything you want. Any questions, comments? No, no. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming today. And I hope you find that very useful.